Hey everyone, welcome to this session, this energy insight for the week of the waning quarter moon. We're in a waning quarter moon for October 28th to November 3rd. November 3rd. My name is Jackie Ellis. I'm from JackieEllis.com, and I am an intuitive guide and mentor, Reiki master. I see energy and I help people decode the energy within them so they can transform their life into a life that they love. My friends call me an energetics master. So how I do these talks, these insights, is I get 3 messages specifically for the week from my spirit guides, and they're meant to help. They know the energies coming into the week, and they're meant to help people in various different ways, in various different situations, in how to decode the energies that they're feeling. And it may impact them from outside sources. It may be stuff that they're working on within, and you may actually hear these messages and not realize that they will impact you as big as they will. Oftentimes, from my own personal journey, I'll get these messages and I'll be like, yeah, of course that's what it means. And then something will happen through the week and I'd be like, I need to go back to my notes. I need to rewatch my own videos so that I can see what was being said here, because it impacted me in a way that I didn't expect. And the insights that are given and the assistance that the spirit guides provide not only help people like you, but they help me as well along my journey. So I want you to know that as I do this, I have a few notes jotted down, but not nearly what comes through. I actually prefer to step aside myself and allow my guides to talk through me and share the messages. So sometimes if it's uncomfortable for me because I'm working through it myself, I will find myself wanting to filter what is being said because I'm uncomfortable with talking about it, especially when it comes to things that are happening in the world. It's not something that I feel comfortable talking about. It's not something that I actually avoid the news on a regular basis, and so I'm not well versed as to what's happening in the world, because I figure if the world is ending, someone's going to tell me. And sure enough, my guides are leading me through in a healthy, supported way. So I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm good. So needed some coffee. Okay, so 3 messages for the week, and they're multi-layered as usual. So they can mean different things for different people in different situations. So try and explore what this means. I'd love it if you'd share it with friends and family, because it may actually be beneficial for them and in ways that you don't even realize. So without further ado, we're going to go with the first. Actually, before I get into the 3 messages, I'm going to recap what the domain is for this waning quarter week. Some of you may know this by watching my previous videos, but every week there is a domain of life lessons, of growth opportunities, and focuses for the week that I have been shown by my guides. And they follow the moon cycle. So not necessarily the calendar month, but the moon cycle. So we are in the moon, the waning quarter moon, and that is our upper chakras. So our crown, third eye, and our throat chakra. And I want you to, this domain is the domain around vision. So our big picture vision for our life. It is the domain about our dreams. What dreams do we have? What dreams are we working towards? What dreams do we want, or are we allowing ourselves to think as possible for us, or to explore what could be possible for us? It's the domain of identity. So this could be how we identify within our family environment, how we identify within our work environment, how we identify within our friend group, how we identify within ourselves. How do we see ourselves in different situations? And how do we think other people see us? What are the expectations we're holding around all of that? And does that fit with our big picture vision and our dreams for our life? It is time, and how we are using that time, and how we are perceiving time to work for us. And manifestation, it's how we are manifesting in our life. Are we focused on the lack and we're calling in more struggle, more strife? Or are we tethered to the lack in some way because we feel like we are overcoming something? When we are overcoming something, we are creating an environment that's energetically tethered to the past, tethered to the things that we need to overcome. But when we surrender to all that, which I will get to in other videos, and release it, then we are no longer tethered in that way, and we allow ourselves permission to look at what's possible for us and really manifest on a positive vibrational energy, positive vibrational frequency, so that we can call in what is waiting for us to call in. What we've earned already, being the people that we're being, healing ourselves and being the change that we need. This week is also the domain for certainty. So it is knowing and trusting that that which we are guided to do, and that which we are guided to see within ourselves and be within ourselves, is with certainty, with absolute certainty, who we are right now, what we're meant to do. And even if it doesn't make sense, there is a higher purpose for it. There is a higher purpose for it. And I want you to understand that when we can step into that divine flow and know with certainty that we are being divinely guided, magic happens. Magic happens in our life, and in a good way, in a very good way. That's when we no longer are just surviving. We are thriving in our life. The red flags that you might be in the shadows, that you might be on that wider pathway and not in the narrow light pathway, is doubt. When you find yourself consumed with doubt or doubting what you're supposed to do, and it's stopping you, it's keeping you stuck there. or it keeps you busy trying to reconfirm that this is what you're supposed to do. It's, you know, in those situations, it's, yeah, I need more evidence. I need more proof. I need more courses. I need more certifications. I need to do all these other things before I can step forward and be who I need to be. I've been there. I sometimes find myself back there, and I have to pull myself back. Pull myself back into alignment with the light. Another sign is being preoccupied with fairness. Have you ever gone down the down a pathway where all of a sudden you find it's like you're frustrated, and you're like, all of a sudden you find yourself, it's like your little child comes out and says, "It's not fair." Shadow, side of the road, bumpy terrain. Expect others to fix things. It's like somehow inside of you, you've given up fixing stuff for yourself, and you are expecting others to fix it for you, when all God wants you to do is step into your power and say, okay, what do I need to do next? And then do that one thing, one step at a time. If you find yourself complaining that life is happening to you, or complaining lots, that, you know, stuff, this has happened and that's happened and the other thing happened, oh, look what happened, and that's repeating the past, and that is a sign that you're in the shadows. Oh, look at, that's happening again. It always happens to me. So, because you're repeating the same loop. You're repeating the same loop. And at some point, we need to choose whether or not we are wanting to continue down that same pathway, that same loop, or if we're going to step off that pathway onto a healthier one and release the old to allow the new to come in. Feeling powerless over time. Oh, this is a really big one for lots of people, because when we are too much in our masculine energy, we are very much busy. But we are busy with things that don't matter. We are busy with things that we think are what we need to do, but that three item list we turned into a 25 item list for the day. And now we have no time for ourselves. Now we have no time to finish what we actually should have been working on. And all of a sudden we have our deadlines, our time frames have smushed and condensed, and we are panicked because we doubted ourselves and did not do what we were supposed to be doing. And a lot of times, you know, sometimes we need to slow down enough to hear what we need to hear. Sometimes we need to slow down enough so that we can trust that what we are hearing, and ask, okay, is asking if what we heard, asking if this direction is the right direction for you, is perfectly healthy. As long as we trust that what we're being told, yes, that is the right direction, then we take that step forward. It's asking our intuition and getting that response, and then trusting it and doing what we need to do. But when we don't do that, energetically a wall goes up, and we find ourselves doing other stuff, or finding other, like going down rabbit holes, researching things that we didn't need to research, or watching videos that are just wasting time, or just whatever it is. Just whatever it is. But ultimately, if you are in the light, you are master of your time and space, always. So how can you be master of your time this week? What can you do to make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing and not overworking yourself to the point where you aren't taking care of yourself? Because when we aren't taking care of ourselves, we are struggling mentally and emotionally and physically in a way that is not healthy for our well-being. Another big one, another big flag for this week is when we find ourselves lacking inspiration in some way, where we are either bored of what we're doing, or we are blocked. We feel like we're blocked, like there's some sort of wall and we can't figure out what we're supposed to do next. Those are signs that we're stuck. And there's usually, if you're bored, you maybe haven't realized you need to ask the question of what to do next. Maybe you weren't ready up until now. Maybe you didn't realize you were bored. Maybe you didn't realize you were bored until I mentioned it just now. But if you're bored, then that is a sign that maybe you need to ask your intuition how you can shift things to bring more alignment with your passions in life. What can you do differently? And it doesn't have to be a major overhaul, but it can be just a different shift in perspective. It can be a different shift in what you're working on, that really aligns with your desires and passions for how you want to serve others. And when you do that, magic happens. Magic happens. It lights you up, and it changes things in your life that it's a positive ripple effect through your life. If you are energetically blocked, meaning that you intend to move forward, but you don't know how to move forward, you try and ask, and you feel a wall go up and there's nothing, there's no response. I want you to know that our mind is hardwired to answer us. Always. Our mind is hardwired to answer us always. Now the brain, it doesn't like uncertainty. It only knows what it's been programmed and conditioned, and it only goes by things that have happened to you in the past. So if there has been some things in your past that have created some fear around uncertainty, then moving forward in some way will create an energetic block, a wall in some way, and stop you, and you'll feel stopped in some way from understanding what that message is, or from seeing that pathway. And the best way that I have found is to really send myself love in these situations, and just bring up my inner child and explore with childlike wonder and adventure, and to see what's there, what's waiting for me, and then release whatever was holding me back. Release myself from whatever was holding me back, because I want that. That is what I wanted. And then all of a sudden the brain releases it easier. There's less resistance there. so then I can move forward. You know, another, the last one I'm going to talk about is when you find yourself, if you find yourself during the week becoming way too serious. Like, you have not laughed at all today. You have not cracked a smile. You have not found joy in any other way. It's been a very serious, low vibrational day. Those are signs that you're in the shadow. Ask yourself, what was going on? What can you do? Does this really matter? Whatever you're focusing on, does it really matter to the big picture vision of your life? Is this how you want to feel throughout your days? If that's a no, if you want to experience more joy and happiness and peace and calmness, then release whatever that is. Work through whatever that is. Don't push it aside and ignore it, because that's just stuffing the feelings down and they'll come back up eventually. Work through it and release what's holding you back from experiencing life as you want to experience it. That's what you're being asked to do. Okay. I think I'll get off my soapbox for a little bit. If you are interested at all in the Light Mastery Map, it is a free download in my VIP portal. You can sign up for anything on my website, any of the free resources on my website, and access my VIP portal and download it so that it can help you through these weeks. Without further ado, let's get to the messages. Let's get to the messages. Okay, first coffee. Okay, so the first message was, truth is bringing mental clarity, but it may create a shift for how we see ourselves. Ooh. Truth is bringing mental clarity, but it may create a shift for how we see ourselves. In other words, how we identify within our life, how we identify ourselves with ourselves, how we think others identify or see us, how we think others see us, may shift because of the things that because of the things that come up for ourselves, because of the things that have come up in the world around us. And this can, depending on the perspective that you have, it might be shaky on the foundations that you have created. You may find that you thought you had built your identity or how you saw yourself on a foundation, but it actually was not a foundation at all. It was more like quicksand or you know, like it wasn't strong at all. And you may find that things that are coming up for you, that there is some manipulation in how core foundational beliefs were taught to us, and we saw ourselves, a part of our identity was deeply interwoven or ingrained in those beliefs. And when those beliefs change, it shifts how you see yourself. It shifts your world. It shifts how you see yourself in the world and how you see the world itself. And I want you to remember that truth prevails. I want you to remember that truth is healing. And I know it may not seem like that in that moment, but if you face whatever you are facing, whatever it comes up, and allow yourself to heal and explore how that allow that truth to resonate through you and send healing energy through you, you will be stronger and more aligned with who you were meant to be than you ever thought possible. I want you to explore when we change what are they trying to tell me? Okay, I'm getting a vision of a big picture vision for someone's life. And that big picture vision may be something that's really like when you sit down and you write out some dreams and some big picture visions, it may be really out of your current reality. It might actually be like bigger than you ever thought possible. And it can be intimidating if you allow it to be. If you have some sort of expectation that it's not possible, so you've judged it, or that there's a time frame on getting it. Okay? I want you to sit back instead and go, when you sit and write some of those big picture visions, whatever comes to you, what if they were coming to you because that is what was possible for you? What if they were coming to you because you were being asked to explore how you wanted your quality of life to be, and what that felt like to be energetically aligned with that, what felt right for you, the you that you are in this moment? Because those pictures may change 6 months from now, they might change 3 months from now, heck, they may be different next month, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is that if you know energetically how you want to live your life, how you want to feel as you live that life, even if you don't have those exact experiences or that exact home or car, or you don't even need any of those things if you don't want it. Like success is an illusion. When we are being of service to others, energetically we are aligned with who we want to be, who we're meant to be. And that is the alignment here. But we need to understand what the quality of life we want to, what that feels like, so that energetically we can tap into that vibrational energy. And really understand from a deep level what resonates with us and what doesn't feel right when it happens. Because once we get to that point, it's easier for us to know when we are in the wide path versus the narrow pathway of light. So when you're exploring these inspirations, and when you're exploring what's possible for you, allow yourself to explore if this would change how you see yourself. Could the person you are now be the person in that lifestyle? Could the person you are now feel energetically aligned in that quality of life that you have painted in that big picture vision? And if it's yes, great. If it's not, what can you do to change, to step into that person that you are picturing? It's not changing yourself. It is coming into alignment with who you want to be. And that's a growth. That's a growth and expansion. It is possibly shedding old beliefs that are no longer holding or no longer helping you. They are holding you back. They are weighing you down. For some of you, there's like, because last week there was, or the last couple weeks, this month in total, there was a message that new opportunities were coming, new foundations were going to start, and this may mean that you are starting a brand new project, and it may be aligned with who you are and what you want for your life. And I want you to really tap into knowing who you are during this moment so that you can shift whatever comes up that isn't in alignment with the new you, that needs to be released and rewired from the old you, and allow that creative energy to flow. When we are standing in our divine power, when we are in the narrow pathway, our creative energies flow so much easier, and things aren't hard. Time's not a factor. We get things done easier, quicker, faster, but with higher quality, and it's just simply amazing when we're in that zone. If you're in resistance in any way to that, if none of that is happening for you when you're trying to create something, you're probably in the wide pathway here. And so it's asking yourselves what's going on that's stopping you, that's resisting from being in that creative space for yourself. I'm sending you all love. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. As always, if you are watching this and it's not the complete version, the full video is in Soul Talk and available for Soul Talk members. The information for Soul Talk membership is in the link below, and I want you to know that it is a community, a support community that will help, that is growing, and it's a passion project for me, so I'd love for you to join me. There's no obligation on how long you stay. It is completely up to you, but it has a ton of value for your growth journey. Yeah. For those that would like to share this video, like this video, or subscribe to my channel, please, thank you so much for sharing the love. Much, much appreciated. And if you like to give back in some way, there is a link for buying me a virtual coffee down below. It's not actually a coffee, but I use those funds to help support me and my family, so that I can continue making content like this for people like you. So thank you so much. Much love. And thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, be simply you. Thank you.